Today we're going to do a quick tour of our kitchen. Alright, a quick tour of the kitchen would definitely include the spice cabinet. So I have a bit of a different method. My older kitchen had a lot more space in it, so I was able to put all the spices out. You could see them all. We have less space in this kitchen, so I have a different method. So what I like to do, we have 3 shelves, and it goes up quite a bit, so there's some vitamins and whatnot on the second shelf, but these are kind of go-to spices. So things I use most often, I have right here: garlic powder, I use a lot of basil, pepper, salt, cinnamon. And then in this basket are all the other spices. So I know for some people this might seem crazy, but for me it really works. So I just pull it out, and as I'm cooking, I just pull out the spice I need. And then this way I can keep my counter empty and I don't have to have everything piled up on it, and it just fits neatly right there in its space. Kitchen storage is key, and without a designated pantry or sort of an extra set of cabinets, we have used some interesting spots to put some of our kitchen stuff. We have utilized the space underneath the sink to put our big mixer. We don't keep like soap and stuff underneath here, just as with kids it's easier to keep them above the sink instead of below. But this is a really good use of this space. That's a really heavy mixer, so I don't like having it up on a high cabinet because it's just really difficult to get down, and it just tucks in there. Probably one of the favorite things about my kitchen is the drawers are really deep, so I'm able to put a lot of stuff in them. In this cabinet, I put the bottom of the Vitamix and my hand mixer, and then all of our water bottles go in here. So they fit nicely, and you can shut it. And then in this drawer, I have all of my extra kitchen towels, and then all of our dry goods that we buy in bulk. So cashews, nutritional yeast, there's quinoa back here, and then jars that I will need as I buy more things. So like this is a jar that I had bought probably a dressing out of, and now I just use it over and over again whenever I make like a salad dressing or any kind of sauce. And since these drawers are so deep, it just fits nicely in there. Something that I like to do when I'm cooking in this kitchen, since I mentioned we don't have a lot of space, is I utilize Post-it notes pretty often. So instead of taking up space on the counter with my tablet or a cookbook, I'll jot down on a Post-it the ingredients or measurements or bake time or whatever it is that I need help remembering, and I can stick it on the cabinet, and then it doesn't take up any space on the counter.
Hi, this is Jules from the Vegan Dollar, and welcome to my kitchen. My less than glamorous, less than huge, less than clean kitchen. I want to show you how I save money, batch cook, plant-based meal prep, do it all right here in this small apartment kitchen so that you know that you can do it too. I'm getting ready to do my weekly batch cooking. It's Monday. I normally do this on the weekend, but I got a little behind. I've got my dog's kibble over there, got the fruit bowl. I always have sweet potatoes for my dog and onions I put onions in everything. One of my favorite drawers is right here. Believe it or not, it is dish towels. I use these dish towels for everything. Pressing tofu, wiping off mushrooms, spills, you name it. And they just go right in the wash. And I'm not using all kinds of gobs of paper towels, which is so bad for the environment and really expensive. So I highly recommend just stocking up on these. They're really inexpensive. Some of these I've had for years. And then in my next drawer down, sort of my pantry, look what a mess this is, but this is where I keep a lot of canned goods, nuts and seeds, nutritional yeast. I've got raisins, I've got lots of like coconut milk and curries, some little snacks. Sometimes if I have extra, like I have a backup vinegar because I'm almost out of balsamic vinegar, extra bay leaves back there, sun-dried tomatoes. And then down here, it's usually filled with Tupperware, but right now we've got a surplus of coconut milk because it was on sale. And some of my other favorite, like barbecue sauce, maple syrup. Under the sink is normally where I keep my recycling and trash, but when I batch cook, I like to have it out so that I don't have to grab under the sink with my like messy hands to just toss stuff really quickly. So a little tip there. And over on the other side, I have got my Keurig, and really messy, but all the water bottles for my dog and I for hiking, and I use these little refillable coffee cups from my Keurig, so that's also another money saver, planet saver. And then below that, I've just got my utensils. Let's see, I love having this juicer, can opener, all your basics. I don't think I have anything really crazy, so just the usual. And then down here, I've got all my baking dishes because I roast stuff constantly in these dishes, and I've got my Instapot and my blender. You don't necessarily need things that are this fancy, but with all the cooking that I do, and they last forever, the investment of $100 Instapot and $300 or $400 blender has really been key for me. And I've got dishes, and I'm trying to keep things streamlined. I shove everything behind cabinets. That's my little life hack. But I've got the vegan macaroni and cheese when you just can't even, bread. Of the microwave, I have my little snack shack. Some dark chocolate and peanut butter filled pretzels. And then, ooh, grown-up fun up there. If you're wondering about the drill, it's because the handle bar on my oven likes to come off a lot. So I realized it was just easier to have the drill over here. I told you, not fancy, not fancy. My olive oil is out because it won't fit in my cabinets, it's too tall. But here I just have the vinegar, oil, salt, pepper, and then a little baking stuff. I don't do a lot of baking, so actually the flour and sugar and cornstarch is more for savory recipes. This is so key in a plant-based kitchen. If you don't have any spices, it can be a kind of big investment up front, but it is worth every penny because you can pretty much mimic all your favorite recipes if you have the right spices. And then I've got my strainers and knives kind of on the wall as a space saver because it's actually, I don't know if you can tell from this video, but it's pretty narrow here. So for example, if I open the dishwasher, it almost hits the refrigerator. I thought that would be a problem, but since it's just me, it's been fine. And above the cupboard, I just have like some foil and wax paper that I try not to use a lot. So that's why it's kind of hard to reach because I don't use it very often. And then into the freezer is really bare bones right now. I've got some Ezekiel bread, hummus. I didn't even know you could freeze that until recently. And some Boca chicken burgers. Those are pretty good. But yeah, I usually have more in my freezer, but I've eaten it all. And then over in the fridge, I've always got my Better Than Bouillon tomato paste, some sort of plant-based butter. It's all the usual fun condiments, liquid smoke, mustard. There's a vegan sriracha my friend sent me. I always have veganese and peanut butter, ketchup, soy sauce. And of course, here's the wine and beer. I live in Bend, Oregon, which is known for their craft beers. And my fridge looks similar to my freezer because I haven't done my batch cooking yet. So got some fruit, lots of kombucha. Again, it's Bend. I love the Just Egg scramble. I always have flaxseed and tahini back there. This is actually lemon juice I'm gonna make a dressing with. I updated the little thing. It said Fresh Lock Meat Keeper on this drawer, so of course I had to change that to tofu. And I always have some miso in the back and vegan cheese. Sometimes I have tofu in here, or like the vegan meats. I love that tofutti sour cream. It's fantastic, and you can find it at most grocery stores. Then I always have my soy milk and juice down here, and the juice is usually to mix with vodka. Now here's where the batch cooking is gonna come in. I've got all of this fresh produce down in these two drawers, and I'm gonna be making some really awesome stuff. If you liked what you saw, please hit like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Let me know how it's going in the kitchen for you.